Hi, I'm Aly Dosdall with We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm here at Scrapbook.com to share a project with you using the frame punch board and the laser square. I created a layout using both of those tools, and I just made a grid on this page using the frames, and you'll notice how these are perfectly spaced, and that is almost impossible to do unless you've got the laser square. So that really helps you to get those aligned nicely. And then also I used it to line up these thickers here on the title. That made it really easy. And then you can also notice the frame punch board. There's a lot of different options here. There's Polaroid style frames, standard frames, thicker frames, lots of different shapes of rectangles. And then I used the beautiful Maggie Holmes Chasing Dreams collection, which is one of my favorites. I love the beautiful colors and patterns, the butterflies, the gold accents. There's even some puffy stickers, and there's chipboard and ephemera. So it's just a gorgeous collection. And of course, one of my favorites is these beautiful butterflies. So let's go ahead and get started with the frame punch board. I'm going to show you how to make two different style frames. The first one is just a standard frame, and we're going to do 1/4 inch width on the frame. So first we're going to round all the corners, and we do that by placing these little guides into the corner rounder slots on each side. And then we place the paper in and punch, and we'll just do that on all 4 sides to get some nice round corners. Now you don't have to round those corners. If you want to, you can just leave them square. So our frame's going to be 1/4 inch, so we're going to move this guide up to the 1/4 inch slot on both sides. And then we're going to punch again. And that will get us our corners for the frame. So first we're going to move this template down here, put it in that slot so we have the 1/4 inch guide. Then we're going to take the cutting blade and put the notch into the track right on the inside of the frame and just slice that center part out. And we'll do that same thing on all 4 sides. So we can cut out that middle piece, and then we'll have a nice frame. Okay. So we've got a 1/4 inch frame here. That's kind of your standard frame. And now I'm going to show you how to make a Polaroid style frame using the same punch board. So what we're going to do for this frame is we're going to punch the top 2 corners a 1/2 inch wide. So we're going to move these guides to the 1/2 inch mark on both sides. And then we're ready to punch both of the top corners. We'll just flip that paper over to get the top 2 corners. So we've got our top 2 corners punched. Now we're going to punch the bottom 2 corners at 1 inch. So what we're going to do is just move this guide to 1 inch, and we'll leave this one at 1/2 so that the sides line up with the other ones I've already punched. So here's the bottom 2 corners. We're going to slide that in, punch there, flip it over, and do the same thing. So now all we need to do is cut out the center. So we're going to start with the 1/2 inch guide because we've got 3 sides that will need to be cut at 1/2 inch. So we'll move this to 1/2 inch, take out the blade, and we'll go ahead and just cut those 3 sides with the 1/2 inch template. Okay, now we're going to move the template guide up to 1 inch and cut just the bottom with that one. And then we've got our frame ready. So now you've got this cute little Polaroid style frame that you can put your photo in. You can round the corners if you want, and that's just a really cute style frame. So for this layout, you're going to want to punch out more frames. There's 8 total on this page, but you can do however many you want of whatever size you want. Just make sure that your columns line up, that they're the same size. So all of the ones in the same column are the same size. That way everything will line up nicely. So I've gone ahead and already punched out all of the frames for this layout, and I'm going to show you how we use the laser square to get these lined up just right. So the laser square comes with a mat, and it's got these pieces here so that you can lock the laser square into place. And you just snap it down on those pieces. And the nice thing about that is that you can use this to hang a gallery wall. You can use it for quilting. There's just a lot of different uses for lining things up with this tool. It's really versatile. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lasers on. There's a switch for each piece, so make sure you turn them both on. And it takes batteries, so just make sure you've got batteries in there. And then I'm going to bring my 12 by 12 white cardstock over. And my borders on the page margins are going to be 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to move these over to 3/4 of an inch. Once you've got your laser set to the right measurements, you're going to start adding your frames to the layout. And what I like to do is I like to start in the 4 corners. I'm just going to add some of this sticky thumb adhesive runner on the back here and just use that laser square to line that up right in the corner. And then I'm going to grab this frame, and when I'm working with the thin frames like this, I like to use the Zig Precision Glue Pen. I think that's just the easiest way to get adhesive on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive around the frame. And what's nice about this adhesive is it's two-way. You can use it permanently or you can use it as repositionable. So you just let it dry a little bit if you want it to be repositionable. If you don't, you can just use it wet. So I'm going to slide this over. Since it's 12 inches, I'm going to put that at 11 1/4, and that will give me just the right border. And then we're going to place that one right there. And then let's see, the bottom one is for the title. This is going to be our title spot. And so I'm going to move this down to 11 1/4. And this one back over here to 3/4 to get this lined up just right. Now I can use an adhesive runner for this one because it's wider. We'll just get that one in place. And the last one is that one that I showed you how to cut before, and what I did is I just added a piece of pattern paper in the middle there. You can do photos, you can do pattern paper, you can leave them empty and fill them with embellishments. There's just a lot of options with these frames to customize your project. So let's move this back over to 11 1/4, and we'll just get this lined up right there. And then what I do is after I've done the 4 corners, I work into the center and finish filling out everything and lining it up. So once you've finished putting all your frames down, this is what it's going to look like. And now we're ready to add our title right here. We're going to use the thickers from the Chasing Dreams collection by Maggie Holmes. And we're going to use the laser square to line these up. So what I like to do is I like to start with the first and the last letter. So I'm going to give myself about a 1/2 inch of space from this side of the frame and start with the letter T. And we're just going to place that right against that laser light. So that's exactly where we want it. Then I'm going to move this over to the other side of the frame and give myself again just about a 1/2 inch from the other side and put the R right there. All right, now I'm going to move this up and check and make sure I've got them nice and lined up perfectly. Now I can fill in the center and just work my way into the center. So this is what the finished layout looks like after you've finished your title and you've gotten all your embellishments in. And again, I really love these beautiful butterflies and all the different textures, the cardstock, the chipboard, the glitter of the gold, and just mix it up a little bit. You can even use some foam squares to raise up some of your elements a little bit and get some more texture. This tag comes in the ephemera kit, and I just punched a hole with my Crop-A-Dile and then added a little bit of twine. And then let me show you real quick how to use the staple board to get your staple right in the middle of this 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I'm going to pull this one back in. And we're going to add it right there. And I'm going to take some of this beautiful washi tape that comes with the Chasing Dreams collection. It looks like a roll of tickets, and I really think it's really cute. So I'm just gonna pull off a little bit of that washi tape. I think I'm gonna try to get myself like 1.5 tickets in there. Okay, so we're just gonna place that right up there. And then I'm gonna use the staple board to add a medium staple. Now the staple board comes with medium, large, and small. So I'm gonna take off the small and large because I don't need those. And I'm just gonna work with the medium, and I've got some copper colored staples in there. And what you're gonna do is make sure that you've got this lined up on the right setting. So small, medium, or large, you can just turn that dial and line it up. It's on the medium for me right now. So I'm gonna place this base underneath my layout right here. And then I'm gonna put this magnetic guide right on top, and then I can slide my paper using these arrows to tell exactly where that staple's gonna go. I want it right in the center there. And then I just take my medium stapler, stick that inside that guide, and punch. And I've got a staple right in the middle of my 12 by 12 page, which I think is pretty amazing. So thanks for joining me in this class about the laser square and the frame punch board, both essential tools for any crafter. I hope to see you in the next class.